That's better. Hold still. Okay, good. Whoop. All right, here we go. 40 seconds into the live stream. Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this lovely, sunny fall Monday afternoon. I have a craft for you. So you might have seen in some of my previous posts, we are going to be working with picture frames. And the idea is to take what we did with our candle jars and apply it to the picture frames, specifically the glass of the picture frames. Oh yeah, check out my new business card. What do you think? Find me on YouTube and Instagram for live pour paintings Monday at 2 p.m. Well, I did order these a few months ago. And seeing as how things on my YouTube channel are going through a little bit of a change, I can go in between using this one up here, one that you guys might remember or know me from if you are local to Longview, Kelso, Woodlands over in Washington. You might be familiar with seeing ones like these. Now, unfortunately, I don't do glitter bottles anymore, which is what this is right here. You can do a little shaky shake. There we go. And the reason for that is if they get too warm, it's made with baby oil. You can see it floating around here in the background. This one seems to have sealed in real nicely, but they are the glitter is suspended in baby oil, and when it's in a sunny window spot or just near somewhere warm, the oil expands and it creates a little pressure pocket up around the seal, and then it ends up popping and leaking. So unfortunately, I don't do glitter bottles anymore. I have to kind of figure out how I can seal everything without it popping open and getting baby oil everywhere. So if you make those or ones similar to that, I'd love to know what you do to avoid that problem. Let's help each other out here. Alrighty, so let's take a closer look at the glitter jar now that it has had officially 1 full week to dry and cure. It doesn't, oh yeah, see? I knew it. The flower petal did not keep all of its color. That makes me really sad. But the details, that's pretty. So it's not a complete loss. I mean, after a while, all of these will go brown. That's just how it is. I don't think you can even keep, I don't think you can even keep colors if I was to do this with resin. But here's a look at the inside. Some of the Mod Podge still hasn't exactly dried from the inside yet. That leaf right there is looking a lot better. This was completely filled in white last time we looked at it. So yeah, it worked out pretty nice, but we're gonna take this and apply it to that. I was smart today. Well, let me zoom you guys out. I got my coffee, a little bit of eggnog in there. Don't judge me. I love eggnog and coffee. I am one of those people. I'm sorry if that offends you, but let me be happy with this, please. So good. I'll try not to drink right in front of my camera there. All right, now that we have the intro out of the way, I was smart. I did take my paintbrush and I did wash it after I used it last. So, I don't have to worry about the stiff bristles. This nice little fern piece did get some Mod Podge on it, but that's okay. Unknown. Cool sparkly jar. Thank you. I hope to get back into making these one day. They are so mesmerizing to watch, sit in front of, and just let me tell you a cool little trick. Make sure this isn't leaking first. I'm going to zoom you guys in. And if it gets fuzzy, you'll be in for a real treat. Look at that. Pull you guys out just a little bit more. Yeah, how do you like that? Kind of looks like a AI background thing, doesn't it? So yeah, it is a lot of fun making these glitter jars. If I can figure out how to seal this lid and keep it from leaking out baby oil, which somehow I did great with this one, I want to make more. That's exactly why I made these. They're great to just watch and zone out. And I'll stick them in front of a kid who's maybe having a temper tantrum. They just need 5 minutes to cool down. It's proven. It works. Actually, if you guys go onto my YouTube channel, right there, look deep within my video archives, and you will see shorts, little short videos of nothing but sparkles and real pretty music. That's what I did for the longest time. Boy, do I miss it. Maybe one day I will get back into it and I will get the whole seal situation figured out. Okay, let's jump into the craft. We are already 8 minutes into the video. You guys came here to see what we can do on a dollar store budget. Now, from what I understand, locations vary with their prices. These at my local dollar store were anywhere from $1.25 to $1.50. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Smaller frames, $1.25. Bigger frames, $1.50. But then I saw these. Let me pull them out real quick. Then I saw these, some decorative napkins in a long form. So more of a rectangle than a square. For like, what was it? Like $2 for napkins? It had the same print. It was just long. Make it make sense. Dollar store. What is going on? You're crazy. Okay, so we've got $1.25 for this. You can choose to keep the glass in the frame, but for this, I am going to take it out. Careful with the sharp edges. Glass is always glass. You don't ever want to pick it up by a single corner. You want to make sure you have a good grip on it, because if this ends up breaking, well, not only there goes your project, but now you've got glass all over the place. So I'm going to set this down. We are going to get out our painting tray. And I've got all of my materials kind of scattered around me that we're going to be using today. So, what all does it take to make this? Picture frame with glass. Got some Mod Podge. I don't have enough money to get this size. And this size is unfortunately sealed shut, so I'm gonna have to go in there with some scissors and pliers and maybe a little bit of fire to loosen things up. Don't play with fire. Then we have 2-ply tissue paper. This is what's going to serve as our background. That was also $1.25. And that's really all you need. Everything else you can find outside. Got a lot of material to work with right there. And as an added bonus, here we go. I've got some dried, what is this? Salt cypress, which, unbeknownst to me, is actually invasive in Washington state. It is a marsh plant that soaks up water and steals salt from soil. And because it's so wet, rainy, and a lot of times marshy here in the Pacific Northwest, salt cypress has actually been taking over a lot. And a lot of arborists actually sell it in stores despite how invasive it is. But it does get these really, really pretty tropical pink and white flowers that look like a butterfly bush. And a lot of arborists, landscapers, they love to use it to add that extra bit of pizzazz. But really, it's quite invasive. And every one of those little leaves, you might have seen that broke off, they hold seeds within them. And it's not until the seeds reach soil and water that they will start to sprout and start anew. So this little bundle that I have off to the side has been sitting inside of a jar, drying since we cut it down last year. So I don't have any worries of it. Cat fur. I don't have any worries of it transplanting, trying to grow again, all that stuff. It is dead. Okay, so we got our first layer of glue down. It's completely up to you if you want to skip the tissue paper or go straight to the leaves and just add the tissue paper behind the leaves. What I'm going to do today, for this one in particular, I am going to break into the tissue box and separate a sheet of tissue paper. Because when you dry the seeds, they can live years and years. That is very true, unknown. However, this little bundle that I have has not seen the light of day since I picked it. I have no intentions of it allowing to settle on the soil, and if I end up catching any more of those little branches, they go right into my burn pit where I burn the cardboard. We don't have a recycling, we don't have recycling bins over here in my local area. So unfortunately, a lot of it is having to be reduced down to a burn pile. That's just kind of how it is up here. We've got, regular garbage management, waste management, but no proper recycling center somehow. But yeah, if it's invasive and, excuse me, we need to get rid of it, it gets burned. Okay, I'm just gonna cut off the excess. And it's completely up to you if you choose to wrap the edges of the glass with the tissue paper. I think I actually missed a spot. Or if you want to try and stuff them into the wooden frame, just to tuck it in, make it look all nice and neat. But I do plan on adding some, there we go. I do plan on adding some hot glue to the inside of the frame once I get this placed in there, just to keep the glass from shifting around too much, because those little prongs, those little metal prongs that I took the glass out of, I don't trust those. Just a little too flimsy. I might actually fold the edges in with this one. Okay, I'll get those out of the way. Another layer of glue down. Just to make sure tissue paper is going to stay down. Now, if you want to get creative, you see all of those little ripples that we're creating there? I imagine you could do some kind of paper mache with this. Get some shreds of tissue paper and like create a scene. That would be so cool to see. Now, tissue paper is really going to want to soak up a lot of the glue, which is fine by me. So I imagine the more layers of tissue paper you can add, the better it'll be. Should this break, because it is glass, I don't think the glue and tissue paper will hold too well. Now, if you have a little one with you who wants to give this a try, I would definitely keep the glass inside of the frame. So that way nothing gets dropped and they don't accidentally, you know, they don't accidentally hurt themselves. In the end, this is glass, and we just want to make sure everybody stays safe. If you want a better kid-safe option to choose when making these, the dollar store does have little plastic jars that would do just the same as the candle jars. You just wouldn't be able to put a tea-lit candle inside of it. But there are those little battery-powered ones that would work just fine. Okay. Gonna add some more glue. So now the idea with this is once everything is glued on and dried, we are going to hang it in front of the window. That way it kind of acts like a sun catcher. And our leaves are going to provide the different colors until they turn brown. I suppose you could try fabric flowers or fabric leaves, just to kind of preserve some coloration. I don't know how well that would work, though. It might work fine. I'd love to see if any of you guys give it a try. If you do any of these crafts that I feature on my YouTube channel, please, 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 please send it to my Instagram account so I can share these pictures, make a YouTube video with them, and share the creative love. This tissue paper does not want to stay down. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. Hello from Pakistan. That's awesome. I love how YouTube reaches across all borders. Feel free to ask me any questions. I will do my best to answer them. Okay, we've got one last edge to lay down, and then we will get to adding our leaves. Just might have to glob it on a little bit. Yes, Gamer Chick, tissue paper has always been rather tricky to deal with. And if you have fur, if you have pets, the fur is inescapable. Time for a short coffee break. One moment, please. There we go. Alrighty. Let's not dump out our glue and get some leaves down. This one is a little bit crispier than I would like to use, but it'll do for now. I don't think it's really gonna matter how we position the leaf, just as long as we get it on there. And it lays flat, somewhat flat at the very least. We will be adding more layers of tissue paper down onto this. And rather than just sticking with one layer of tissue paper, I might go with like 3, because I want it to be real frosty looking. Let's go for this one. The more glue, the better. So once all of this fully dries, it'll be really, really nice. Let's see. Ooh, you know what? I found some Morning Glory leaves, and I think those are going to be perfect to add. This is Morning Glory right here. Another pesky plant to deal with in Washington. Unfortunately, it's like Washington is like, it's like 70% blackberries and invasive plants. Help me understand why that is. So I'm just gonna pick a few of these little itty bitty ones. Try and keep the stems off. I don't exactly have a particular pattern in mind I'm going for. This is all just to mess around and see what we can accomplish. The dabbling. If you really want me to get artsy fartsy with it, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a comment. That will help me know that you guys want to see more of this. Or if there's something in particular you want to see more of, leave me a comment. Otherwise, I don't know. When I say I can't do this without you guys, I really can't do this without you guys. I'm not even being paid for these YouTube videos. If I remember right, your videos have to get a minimum of 1,000 views in order for you to start earning money. And when all of that happens, that money can range between 3 and 15 cents per 1,000 views. And that's really bonkers to think about. Not bonkers in a good way, but like, this is just for fun for me. If I could make a living off YouTube, that would be cool, but honestly, I think it would drive me mad. I am not a social media savvy person. I'm a craft savvy person, but I don't think I could do YouTube full time. Okay, we got that one down. Let's add, let's see, what else did I get? Oh, you know what? Well, where did those ferns go? Oh, here they are. Let's do some ferns. Just kind of like this. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm not even in frame. There we go. Let me swivel you guys this way. There we go. That's better. Now you can see what I'm doing. A little bit more glue. Probably gonna have to go in for more here soon. But let's make sure we get those ferns nice and well coated. Because these ones are gonna want to curl. But we need that tissue paper to stick to them. And you know what? Let's stick with that. Let's get our second layer of tissue paper on. And I'm just pulling from a piece that we cut earlier, since this is a small frame we're working with. And we're just gonna lay it on top. And start patting some areas down. There we go. That's just the first layer. Adding some more glue to our tray. And another layer of glue. While I am working on smushing everything down, feel free to ask me any questions down here in the comments. I will do my best to answer them as long as they are family friendly. Please and thank you. This is a family friendly crafting channel. What is going on with the napkins? Perhaps one of these Mondays I will get more crafty with the tissue paper and the glue. But I gotta know what you guys want to see. If you have any ideas, please share them. And we'll see if I can bring them to life. I don't want to mess with these too much. Just once the tissue paper gets fully saturated with glue, it's going to start tearing and ripping. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to go with another layer of tissue paper, at least over this yellow leaf. The red leaf's not doing so bad. Oh, that stem's a little too long. Let's clip that. There we go. Whoops. Oh, that might actually look pretty cool. Okay. I most definitely will need to cut some length off of the tissue paper. So otherwise it's going to end up showing on the other side when I put it back in the frame. And cut the ends of those leaves off in the process. So perhaps this goes without saying, because this is going to be in a picture frame, I do not recommend putting a little candle behind this, just because glue is still flammable, and so is the tissue paper. We do not want to be starting fires with crafts. And my dog wants in. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. I will be right back. Hi, Checker. Go on up, sweetie. Good boy. And I'm back. So what has everybody been up to lately? What season is it where you're from? I'd like to know. Let's get back to laying down these edges. I might not worry too much about these edges until it's dry. Once we get the hot glue into the frame, it's gonna help hide a lot of these. Okay. And just for the heck of it, one more layer of tissue paper. Oh, and if you can't decide which kind of tissue paper to use, When you're looking at your options from the dollar store, sometimes they have ones that say super soft, premium, lotion, lotion plus, vitamins, and all of that weird stuff. Ask your parent or whoever you are shopping with which brand of tissue paper they will not get. That one is more than likely going to be the most rough and irritating. And the reason why you want to go that route is because they have been the best to use for crafts like these. And who knows, it might spark a funny conversation or story. Checker dude, what are you doing? All right, so I want to try and get this as frosty looking as I can. And that's where all of these layers of tissue paper are going to come in handy. One more layer of glue, and we will let that sit to dry. Does anybody have any funny stories that have happened to them recently? Anything strange or weird happen? I would have music on in the background, but YouTube copyright stuff. It wouldn't be too happy. That yellow leaf really wants to start curling. Should stay put once the glue dries, I hope. Okay, those ferns are not going anywhere. Let's give those a little bit more definition by pressing into the individual leaves. That'll look nice and cool. And then our maple leaf here wants to stay up. All right, we are going to let that sit and dry like that. Gamer Chick says, a restaurant I went comped my meal because I think they believed I was a reviewer. So they said it was because I was sweet. Aw, oh, that's cool. Oh, why doesn't stuff like that happen to me? That's cool though. I don't often hear of that kind of stuff happening. Let's see, we are 39 minutes in. Alrighty. You know what? I am gonna tuck the napkin underneath the edges. So that way as it dries, it does not dry to the surface I am working on. It will dry to itself. And then I can just rip it all off when I am good and ready. So what is this going to look like without the tissue paper? I have another picture frame lined up. I've just taken the picture out of this one. And so it's just the glass. And I am going to drizzle the glue straight onto it. And we are just going to paint a nice thick layer of glue right on the glass. Ah, fur. Oh, wait, no, that's a hair. Whoops. There, got it. So this might be like, why are you using so much glue? Why are you wasting it? Trust me, it's gonna look so cool when it dries. And I am intentionally using a lot of glue. I think, oh, you guys are gonna love this. So I once worked for a very, well, it's a well-known fast food place. You know, burgers and such. And there was a team of, what was it? 4 cops who came in. And I'm like, cool, you know, lunchtime, break time. They're just coming in for some lunch. And little did I know, I was going to prank one of those cops. So as I was running their drinks out to them, one of them pulled me aside and said, "Hey, we want to prank one of our coworkers. Can you do something? Make it look like somebody spat in his food." My heart absolutely sank. Because one, it was a cop, you know? Um, it's a very treacherous thing to try and prank a cop. You shouldn't. I wouldn't. But this time they were asking me to actually prank him. And I'm thinking, I could get in big trouble for this. So which one of my coworkers would be willing to do it? And then I thought to myself, you know what? No. This is a once in a lifetime chance where I shouldn't get in trouble. And if I do, at most it's going to be a warning. So I went over to my coworkers, told them what's going on. They all chickened out. They said, "No way. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do it." And then I told my manager, because they should know. And they were like, "What are you going to do? How are you going to prank them? Like, what's going on?" And I grabbed their order, walked it out to their table, said nothing. Just, "Here you go. Enjoy." I walked back and then I waited a good 10 seconds, watching them as they open and start to dig into their meals. I pushed through the double doors and I'm like, "Wait, wait, 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 hold on, wait, sir." Looking at the one cop who is a giant germaphobe, because you just watch his face slowly drain of color. And I said, "I'm gonna need to take that back. You didn't bite into it, did you?" And he goes, "Yeah. Why?" And I said, "I, um, I, I, I'm gonna need to take that back." You could not. Oh, he turns as white as a sheet. And then I told him, "I think I saw one of my coworkers spit in it." He nearly got up and ran to the bathroom. when his coworkers chimed in and they're like, "No, no, no, it's okay. It's just a joke. We asked her to do that." Oh my goodness. My heart leapt into my throat and was just pounding like it wanted to get out. But he had a really awesome group of coworkers to be in or to be with, because you could just tell, it was a bunch of friends, and he didn't take it personally. He even said he was going to be fine. And it just, all in all, it went okay. Nobody got in trouble. I didn't get in trouble. But like, how many times does that opportunity happen? You get to prank a cop. So that's my funny, crazy, wacky story. Maybe if you guys want to hear more story times, ask me some questions. I'd love to do if I have a funny or crazy or weird enough story to tell, and you want to see a video of it, leave me a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video. Okay. Well, we are officially 47 minutes in. It's been a long one. We're gonna have to wait until both of these dry. Stay put. I need a new tripod thing. Stay. I'm going to let these sit and dry and close you guys out with some sparkles. Okay. I'll see you next Monday. Bye for now.